Yes, what is happening? So, a little while back, I was standing in front of the mirror. I've been training consistently for months. I've been eating right, doing everything I was supposed to be doing, and I genuinely felt like I was going backwards. And in all honesty, it nearly made me quit lifting altogether. So in this video, I am going to be talking about the mindset shifts that changed everything for me and for a load of my clients as well. So for anyone that is new here, I am Ricky. I've been an online coach helping guys drop body fat, build muscle, but also do it in a way that doesn't cause overwhelm, no extra confusing shite that is not necessary, and all that comes with it without the fluff. So that is what I'm going to be talking about today. If you haven't already, subscribe, follow along. Let's go. So I'm going to be going through 4 mindset shifts today, and these things changed everything for me. They changed my outlook on training, my outlook on building a physique, and they're going to help you as well. Because when we talk about making progress, there are always going to be setbacks, and these are the reasons that people quit, the reason that people fall back, and these things today are going to help you with that. Because you can have the best program in the world, but if you are not there psychologically, you are never ever going to hit your goals. So make sure you watch these, you listen to these, hang around to the end of the video. Let's go. Right, I'm going to be totally open and honest here because I believe it is always the best way to be. About a year ago now, leading into my wedding, I was in a mass building phase. And for anyone that has been in a mass building phase before, you know how it goes. You're eating more food, you're getting bigger, you're getting stronger, but with this as well, you are going to lose a level of leanness, and this can play with you psychologically. And for me, I remember specifically standing in the mirror and thinking, fucking hell, I look absolutely dreadful. All the work that I'm doing, all the food prepping that I'm doing, and day by day, I'm just looking worse and worse, despite the numbers in my logbook going up, getting stronger. In my head, from a psychological standpoint, I just weren't happy with the way I was looking, and I knew that this isn't the be all and end all. As a coach, I knew this. I knew that I had to push to this point to be able to keep moving forward. But when you're seeing it firsthand in the mirror, it is incredibly hard. And then to add on to this as well, I was getting flare-ups of arthritis as well. So I have psoriatic arthritis, and it affects my finger joints, it affects my feet, and it affects my left knee as well. Strangely, it just comes up with pain sometimes. So I was also dealing with that as well. So not only was I having to deal with the psychological side of things of thinking I looked like a bag of shit, I was also having to deal with the fact that I was in physical pain as well. So I was having setbacks psychologically, but I was also having setbacks physically as well. And until I changed these 4 things, it was really, really consuming, and I was struggling to stay on track. And over the years of coaching as well, over this last 6 years, the majority of the people that I've spoken to that are stuck, that have become stuck and not quite got to where they want to be, it's never down to the physical. Even when they're injured, it's never down to just the physical. It's down to the mental side of things and the way that they frame things to continue to move forward that keeps them stuck, and making sure that you have that mental side down. You see it everywhere. You see, whether it's the Paralympics, for example, like people that are not fully able-bodied can do absolutely incredible things. So it's all about the mental state that you're in. Because at the end of the day, all we're doing is going to the gym, eating a certain way, and trying to get into shape. We're not fighting wars here. So if we can get a handle of the mental side of things, it can be truly life-changing. I do honestly believe that. Right, here we are with shift number 1. And this is a massive one. Stop using the mirror as your primary source of progress. Now, I know that does sound counterintuitive. At the end of the day, we're training because we want to look good, because we want to feel good. So of course you are going to be looking in the mirror. Of course you are going to be taking pictures. But here's the problem. The mirror is going to be telling you something different day to day. You've got water retention, you've got lighting, you've got time of the day, you've got whether you're bloated from eating. There's so many different factors that are going to affect the way you look throughout the day. Some mornings you wake up and you feel like you're lean as hell and you're feeling absolutely great. And then by mid-afternoon, you can feel bloated, you can feel absolutely shit. And if you are in a gaining phase, you are naturally going to be looking softer. You are going to not be looking as lean, and it can play with your mind. It can really, really fuck with your head. So just basing everything off the mirror can affect you, and that is something you do have to keep in mind. And it could trigger emotions that make you make rash decisions like, I need to go into a cut straight away, even though you're at exactly in the right place you need to be. So the shift with this, and what is really, really important, is making sure you are logging the things that truly matter. And that's where the logbook is incredibly important, making sure you are tracking the weights you're lifting, tracking the reps you're lifting, continuing with them progress photos, but it's literally all there just for data. Because as long as you're getting the right amount of food in, you're getting stronger in the gym, you are moving forward despite what you think your pictures might be saying. Shift number 2, and this one changed everything for me personally. When something goes wrong, do not treat it as failure, treat it as data. So when my arthritis came back for me, historically in the past, my head would absolute spiral. I'd think, oh shit, I can't train my legs now, I can't do this, I can't do this. And all the other things would go by the wayside instead of just managing what is in front of me there. But now what I do is, based off that data, based how I'm feeling, I can actually look at it in the perspective of, right, how's my recovery been? How's my sleep been? How's my nutrition been? Because the data is showing me that I'm getting flare-ups of my arthritis. How's my workload been in the gym? How's my stress been? And I can actually look at this data and continue to move forward. Because the truth is, setbacks are going to happen. You're going to have injuries. You're going to have flare-ups. Even good things, like you're going to have holidays coming up. You're going to have events coming up, Christmas, Easter. They all come around every time of year. And the thing is, you've got to frame your mindset to be able to work with these things instead of against them, because people fall off all the time for these reasons. Things that are out of their control, people fall off from. And what you've got to do is look at what is within your realm of control and control that. It's very, very important. So control the controllable is a big one, and that is shift number 2. So shift number 3, and I've actually touched on this before, and that is sustainable does not always mean optimal. Because there is a version of you that you're saying is sustainable when actually you're blocking yourself from doing the real work. So ask yourself this question and be truly honest. Are you putting the effort in the gym? Are you working with progressive overload? If you are in a fat loss phase, are you sticking to that calorie deficit? These are the questions that are very, very important, because the reality is, when you're pushing yourself in the training, when you are digging into a calorie deficit in a fat loss phase, it isn't going to be sustainable. It's not meant to be sustainable, and that's why you need to put a definitive date onto phases, particularly fat loss phases, because you know you are going to have to dig deep, and you've got to get that into your head. And even in a mass gaining phase, you've got to have a good structure of, right, this is how long it's going to take. I know that my body is going to get softer throughout this time. I'm not going to be looking as good, but I'm going to push myself in the training. I'm going to make sure I'm following through with that logbook. I'm going to get stronger. I'm still going to manage my nutrition as well, because what a lot of people do when they're in a mass gaining phase is they just let themselves off left, right and center, eat far too much, get far too fat, and it can play on your mind as well. So it's not about being sustainable. It's about being honest with yourself in the phase that you're in at the moment. Now, this isn't to say that training, fitness, dieting, everything, this has to be your be all and end all in life. Absolutely not. It doesn't. But you have to be honest with yourself for the goals that you are setting for yourself. So if you do have a holiday, for example, coming up in 8 weeks' time, it's like, right, head down to the grindstone for the next 8 weeks. It is going to be tough. I am going to have to work hard. I am going to have to dig hard in a diet. But when we get to that 8-week mark, that's when we can take our foot off the gas. That's when we can go, we can relax, we can do what we need to do, and then we can go again. And shift number 4, this is the big one, and it is something that completely gets ignored. And that is that your psychological state during your training is actually part of your training. And I've seen it before in people I know, in clients. They've got the perfect training program, whether that's written by me, whether that's written by someone else, whether that's taken offline. They've got a plan that if they stick to, it will work. And they follow it to the best of their ability, but they do not see the results that they truly want to garner. And that is because they're not fully locked in with it psychologically. You have to believe that you can do this. Even if you've not been there before, you need to put yourself into that psychological state that you can hit these goals, that you can go into the gym and smash this session, that you can manage a calorie deficit, that you can handle being hungry a little bit at times. It is all psychological. Because the reality is, to get to where you want to get to, if it was easy, then everyone would be there. Everyone would be in incredible shape. And that's not where you are right now, and you've got to have a think. What things do I need to shift to get myself moving forward, to get myself feeling great? The people you look up to, the people that you aspire to be like, imagine what are they doing? What are they doing on a daily basis? And start to work towards that. And it's all in there. It starts in there. So wake up every day with intent. What am I going to do today? How hard am I going to train today? How am I going to eat today? How am I going to show up for the people I love today? What is my goal? Why is it important to me? Know why it's fucking important to you. Know why you want to get there. Because when you pull back on that, that's what's going to help you. That is what is going to fucking get you through. If you don't have a reason to be doing it, you're not going to stick to it. You're going to let yourself off. Slightest bit of resistance is going to be too much. Have a look around. Be inspired. Who inspires you? Why is it important? And get the fuck after it. Because if you're having to drag ass every single time you go to the gym, and remember, you're not going to feel like it all the time, and that's when it's important to lean back on that why. But go in with intent, make sure you know, right, this is what I'm doing today, these are the numbers I need to hit, and I'm going to fucking do it, and it's in there. Get ready before each fucking set. It's so important. So if this has been useful so far and you are enjoying the video, please remember to drop a follow. There's going to be loads more content coming out about training, nutrition, fat loss, muscle building, mindset, all that kind of stuff. So just take a moment now, hit the subscribe. I would really appreciate that. So just to recap, here are the 4 mindset shifts that changed everything for me, and it'll change everything for you as well. So number 1, stop measuring progress simply off what you see in the mirror. Number 2, treat setbacks as data and not failure. Number 3, sustainable doesn't mean progress. Sustainable doesn't mean comfortable. Make sure you are pushing yourself. And number 4, your psychological state is the most important part of your training. Sort that out and everything else will start to fall into place. Now look, none of this is overnight stuff. You can't just watch this video and then tomorrow you'll be like, right, here we go, firing off all cylinders, my mindset's completely changed. And I think that's a misconception people get from watching motivational videos, watching, certain podcasts and all that kind of stuff, that something's just going to click with them straight away. It's not. There's always going to be resistance. There's always going to be a battle, but you can use these shifts that are in this video and future videos to come as well to help you just get dialed in that little bit more, just as a little reminder. So put this in your saved videos. There's going to be clips of this as well throughout my YouTube, Instagram and that, so get subscribed to all of them. But everything I do in here comes from a place of where I've been in my head and experience, not just textbook. It's things that I've seen through my clients. It's things that I've seen through myself. It's things that I observe around. So again, thank you for watching this video. If that was helpful, if you've got any questions, if you even want to have a little look at working with me as a coaching client, there is a link to book a call down in the description as well. And again, I truly appreciate the fact that you've watched this video, and hopefully you've taken something away from it. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.